Welcome back, everybody. This is Khara Crossweight Brindle, and
Christina Murphy.
we are doing another video here for Supervisionary. There's something on our mind about professionalism when it comes to our mental health leadership and our roles as supervisors. So Christina was telling me the other day about somebody was posting, some content on LinkedIn, and it created some friction for their professional hat versus the personal hat. So Christina, do you want to kick us off?
I was just noticing that, therapists and even some colleagues of mine that are just posting some really edgy, some language on these platforms that can be perceived by others, professionals, clients, future clients is not appropriate, not professional. And it really concerned me because it's like, oh my gosh, putting the F word and other words like that out on a platform just was like, oh my goodness, we shouldn't be doing this, And then I was also noticing that some of these counselors are creating almost a therapeutic relationship with some people on these platforms, on Instagram. They start a conversation with somebody and they start going into, some advice on this is how you handle the situation with your child, or this is how you handle your depression. And it's like, oh my goodness, this starts to turn into almost a therapeutic. You're creating a therapeutic relationship with this person. And, and of course I was like, oh, this is dangerous. We're
Right.
Those waters here. And so, a couple times, I've known people, a couple of these people, and I actually reached out to them because, I care for them and I don't want them to get themselves in hot water. But some of these others I didn't know. And it's just like, we have to be very careful as professionals that we're representing ourselves, our brand, professionally. And because you can find anything about a professional now on any platform. You Google your name and you start to see, this professional is saying the F word or some other word or representing themselves in an unprofessional way. And it can just not be good for you.
Right. And I think that's the perfect example of the brand conversation we've had before, which is sometimes we're talking about our supervisees part of our brand, an employee is part of our brand, a contractor could be part of our brand. And so sometimes it's the ripple effect, not even on just our professionalism, but like the company we might be serving or the company we're affiliated with.
Absolutely. I've had situations where people have contacted me and said, hey, this person, don't they work for you? And look what they're saying about this particular population or this particular, person or whatever. And it's like, oh my goodness, please be careful about what you say. You have to realize, even if you think your Facebook page is private and your own, that is not true. I have had situations where other professionals in the community have sent me screenshots of private personal Facebook pages of professionals who have worked for me and have said, is this who you have working for you? And it's been like profound. And so you just have to be very careful about what you think is private, because if you're putting it on the internet, it's not private.
Right. I feel like this youngest generation has made that very clear. I mean, you and I both serve populations that say once it's on there, it's never taken off, right? So it's like, it's permanent, nothing is private, everyone's filming things at all times. And so it really makes me think of the request that was made of us who were involved in Greek life in college, for example, where they said, conduct yourselves as if you're always wearing your letters, because those Greek letters represent an organization that you're now a part of. And so if you're conducting yourself respectfully, then it all looks good. But if you're acting a fool, that's not going to look very good. And so I feel like that's coming back relevant of like our social media presence and what we put out there online. Absolutely.
And for me, as a licensed professional counselor, I want to represent that field, the licensed professional counseling industry, the American Counseling Association, Colorado Counseling Association. I want to represent those entities, my university, Regis University. I want to represent all of them in a very respectful, ethical manner. And myself, Christina Murphy, and my private practice and the companies that I work for, I want to make sure that I'm always being ethical and represent them in a respectful way.
So maybe what we're saying in this video is for people to be really mindful, but also maybe the lens is, what would Dora think if they saw this? What would your mom think if she saw this? What would your partner think if they saw this? And just use those questions on an internal lens of like, does this seem appropriate to put out? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. You know what in college they said the mom sniff test. If your mom read this, what would you think mom would say? So definitely.
I mean, hopefully there's going to be a protocol out there someday that says, here's how we conduct ourselves with all these different social media platforms specifically, because they are a way of marketing and having clients come in, like you named. And this is all a new arena. So Christina and I just wanted to bring this to the table, food for thought. We don't have all the answers, but we definitely recognize that as leaders ourselves, we are constantly being evaluated as our presence online. So it's just
Yeah.
something we want everyone else to consider as well, and hope that we're doing justice to our profession and showing up professionally.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to your comments and discussion around this topic, and stay tuned for more videos. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.